Hi, hello friends. Welcome back to Night Court Narrative. My name is Elvish. Hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, there has been so much going on the past week and a half. I feel like I need to make like a little mini vlog or something just to like let it all out, let loose, and just talk about it. But you know what? It's okay. I read such a phenomenal book. This one is definitely one that's been on my radar for a while. I have read the rest of the series and have videos on here. Have you guys watched them yet? But no, today we are discussing Madness by Chantal Tessier. This is the 6th book in the Lord series. 6? Is it 6? But yeah, we have Madness by Chantal Tessier. This book was fantastic. I had originally said, and I have said it in multiple videos from this series, that Ritual was my all-time favorite. However, I can truly say that this has taken first place without a doubt. This book has a chokehold on me, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but Haidyn can have it. All of it. Every last bit. It's his. But it is okay. All right. Such a good book. Anyway, so we have Charlotte. This is our female main character, or Annabelle. She does go by 2 different names. She is kind of undercover-esque, if you will. She is finally chosen, and she has been signed to our male main character, Haidyn Reeves. He is one of the Spade brothers. She is hiding a really big secret, obviously. We have Haidyn, our main character. Am I going to be able to say that today? Is this going to be one of those awkward days where I just cannot speak? Well, we have Haidyn. He does find out and basically blackmails her into becoming his toy. You know how this series goes. The relationship is straight up power, control, manipulation. As always, he does break her down mentally, but he does become very much attached to her, actually. But at the same time, you know, she starts really falling for him too, and it kind of gets this whole, she's like, I don't like being played, but damn, I don't want to be away from him, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, Charlotte is on a mission for the Lords. She is actually meant to betray Haidyn and give him up to the Lords. Haidyn is running his own dark agenda and playing mind games the entire time. So we do have technically like 2 stories in one with this book. There is outside drama. We do have Ashton. If you remember, she is from Carnage, the other Lords, past trauma, family secrets, all that good shit. Everything ultimately just making both situations worse at the exact same time. Charlotte does slowly start losing control of everything, hence obviously, I guess, Madness. Charlotte does refuse to betray Haidyn. This is when she starts really gaining his trust and I guess ultimately starts falling for him. So that's, I think it happens actually when it matters the most in the story. It's at a very pivotal moment, not only for the plot but for the character. So I do think that her betrayal was really decent. I will talk about that further in a moment. The Lords do come down hard because she fails her assignment. Obviously everything of course blows up, as it does. Loyalties, identities, secrets, everything is thrown at the wall. This book does have a lot of trigger warnings, obviously, so there's a lot in this video that I'm not going to be able to say because of YouTube. But one of the big tropes in this book, we do have marriage of convenience. It is to protect her and secure her place within the society, but Haidyn and Charlotte basically choose one another, despite the manipulation and chaos, as they usually do in these books. We do get a happily ever after, even though it is quite dark and a little messy, actually. We do have the possessiveness, you know. But yeah, we do kind of get set up for a bigger plot line with the Lords, so that definitely sets us up for the book that just got released named Chaotic. I am currently reading that one on my Kindle. It is good so far. I love this series so much. But yeah, I loved this book so much. I'm not gonna lie, the beginning of this book was pretty slow. It was incredibly slow. And I'm not saying slow as in like it was just completely unenjoyable, but the beginning of this book was so incredibly slow. I don't think it was maybe until the 30% mark where it actually did get interesting. For sure, the 50% mark, when it was just balls to the wall, like holy fuck, I have no idea what's happening, but I gotta keep reading to figure it out. This book was very interesting, and when it does, like, I think what I've learned from Chantel's books, when it's slow, but when the pace pickens up, the pace pickens up. Pickens? That's not... I said it so confidently twice. When the fucking shit. Hold on. When the pace picks up. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I do think in this book too, this book is very, very strong on the character development. I am going to die on that hill if anyone says otherwise. I just, like, if you're wrong, just say you're wrong, but just because you're loud doesn't mean you're right. Haidyn starts off as the brute, obviously. You know, he's very rough around the edges. He's very much stuck in his ways. He doesn't do anything that shows any sort of emotion. And you know, throughout the book, Charlotte does start breaking down the barriers around him, and he does start loosening up quite a bit. And I do think that his development is by far my favorite as far as like the Lords or the Spade brothers go. He is actually very much a cinnamon roll, and again, I will stand by that. I do think Haidyn is a precious fucking baby. I also think the spice in this book was top notch. I think this book, if I remember correctly, if you guys are unaware, by the way, I know I'm like digressing. I don't think I'm digressing actually. Chantel has a website. I think it's actually just her name.com. Or you can type in Lord series trigger warnings, and she has a website that lists every single one of her books in order with every single trigger warning in each book. I do think Madness has the absolute most trigger warnings, but I will say it was hot. It was so good. I do think the spice in this book was a little bit eye-opening. I think that it's, how do I want to say it? It's very difficult for a book to make me quote unquote clutch my pearls, or to even be gasted of the flabbers. And I do definitely think that this book, from time to time, I believe there were maybe 2 or 3 different parts in this book that I had to stop what I was doing, collect my thoughts, and be like, did I just read that? And then proceed to reread it and blush like a little schoolgirl. So I do think that the spice in this one was 10 out of 10. The story itself, I do think that this had one of the best storylines. I do think The Ritual is a great contender for best plot line in this series, but this one had it because I really do like, in every other Lord book we get the same, okay, I don't, this sounds bad because like if this is your first video of the Lord series and you haven't watched any other video, it sounds like I'm shitting on the book. I'm not. Every book basically has almost the same plot line. You know, we have the chosen, we have the man that's overly confident and goes out of his way to like make her the chosen and make her the pet and all that. And she doesn't really hold a place in the society, even though she has been chosen. So she eventually uses her female wits and makes the guy fall for her. And yeah, that's basically every Lord series. However, this one was a little bit more unique in my opinion, because we do have the side plot. We have two main plots. We have Charlotte's main plot, which is the Lords trying to gain Haydyn's trust and trying to betray him at the exact same time. And then we have Haydyn's side, where he is going against, he already refused multiple chosens. He is practically, I mean, in the world of Lords, he's basically going against what the higher ups are wanting. And it's really cool to see how he's stuck on his side, but then how Charlotte is really coming to terms with the fact that she is falling for a Spade brother and what comes with it. I also do really like the little plot twist. I did see a review where they said that there was no plot twist in this book. I strongly disagree. I think the plot twist was so phenomenal. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now. So if you don't want to know what happens in this book, you have 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So we do find out that the woman that has been completely abusing all of the Spade brothers and the Lords is actually Charlotte's mom, which we do see a lot of Charlotte's mom throughout the book already. We do see her as this side character that is really confidently worried about her daughter's well-being. She doesn't necessarily want her to be a chosen, but she doesn't want her to not be in the society. And we do figure out that later on, she is the mastermind behind everything and all of the abuse that Haydyn and his brothers went through. So that was definitely a wild shock to me, especially to Charlotte, figuring out that her mom was basically the one literally ruining her husband, because obviously at this point Charlotte and Haydyn are married. We also do find out that Blake, I think her name's Blakely, is it not? Oh, my book's behind me, but I don't, okay, hold on, my book's behind me. Okay, what is her name? Blakely. I was so right. Okay, so we do find out that Blakely and Charlotte are also like step siblings in a way. I don't know how the family tree works, so I don't know if they're like step siblings, but we do find out that Blakely's mother was a twin of Charlotte's mom, so they are like cousins. Are they cousins? I don't know how family trees work. I don't know. But we do figure out that they are related, so I do feel like that is a little bit that's gonna probably come to light a little bit more in the next book, maybe. We also do find out that the Lords are giving out this medication of sorts, or this what is it called? They have been implanting things into the leaders of the Lords, and it allows them to live a lot longer than the natural human life. Obviously Haydyn does get injected with this serum or whatever it's called, and so he's obviously going to live a little bit longer than Charlotte. We also do find out too that they have the exact same serum, but they allow for twins to be born. They basically inject the woman and it forces twins on them, so that definitely does bring to light why a lot of the ladies are coming up with multiple children. My brain just stopped. We also do kind of see the hard part between actually, there is a part I need to go back and reread at the end, because I'm now thinking about it. That kind of, I think I missed something at the end. I think I like genuinely missed something at the end, because they were saying that whenever Charlotte's mom had Haydyn, they went ahead and gave him a chop, so he can't, like, obviously he still has his dangly, but he can't like have children, you know? What is it, like a hysterectomy? Is that what it's called? Or is that like the female? I don't know. Am I a fucking doctor? No. Hop off my ass. I know nothing. But they did give him a chop, but then in the epilogue they do have children, so I am a little bit confused by that. Or maybe she was already pregnant. I don't remember. I can't remember. But either way, I do think that this book was so phenomenally well done. I loved the plot. I loved the characters. We do get to see a little bit. I'm a little bit worried going into the next book though, because we do meet, and I don't know if we meet him in this book, or I don't remember him in Carnage, to be honest, but his name is Castian. He's kind of a dick. He's kind of an asshole. I'm not necessarily excited to learn more about him, but in Chaotic he is the male main character, so I am kind of stuck being forced. I do think it's the same with every Lord and every Spade brother. It's definitely a ruse. It's a like false narrative that they like to put on, and they definitely try their best to seem super hard and edgy on the outside, but on the inside they're actually puppy dogs. So I'm definitely down to see how that comes to fruition and see how that comes out in the book. So I'm currently reading that. I will definitely let you guys know how that goes. But yeah, I want to tell you guys so much more. I cannot though, because of the terms of service on YouTube. I will definitely get my account removed. It is one of those books, and when I say this is a menu of trigger warnings, it is a full-on menu of trigger warnings, so I cannot go in detail any further about the main plot. I will say, if you have never read a Lord's book and this is your first book that, or like first video you're seeing, the Lord's book is probably 60% heavy spice and like 40% plot. So please keep in mind, this book had 92 chapters, I think, and probably at least 35 to 40 of those chapters were all spice. Keep that in mind moving forward. I do really like, I don't think I read these books necessarily for the spice. I know my boyfriend ended up making a joke over the weekend. You are going to be seeing this after the fact, but tomorrow is actually, as I'm recording this, tomorrow is actually my birthday. So we went out this weekend and I was looking at books at Barnes & Noble. We went to Books A Million first. They didn't have the book I wanted, so we ended up going to Barnes & Noble. Unfortunately, don't worry, I spent a ton at Books A Million too. But we ended up going to Barnes & Noble, and I mentioned, I don't know what the series is called, so please forgive me. It has praise in it. It's like a black book with pink, and it has like a heel on it. And I was like, oh, I really want to read that. And he was like, damn, don't you ever read anything PG-13? No. No. But no, I'm not gonna lie, like with Haunting Adeline and with the Lord series, I actually genuinely do like the side plots. I really do like the specifically this series. I really do like the secret society. I love the mafia feel of it. It's very interesting to me. And then obviously just having good spice, like it does so well. But yeah, that is literally all I have. I would recommend this. I did give this one a 5 out of 5. I want to say out of 6 books, I know for sure there are 2 5 stars, maybe 3. If I genuinely had to give it like a genuine rating, I would say this is like a 7 out of 5. I absolutely enjoyed this book. It's definitely one that I'm going to reread, and I cannot wait for it to come in. I already had The Ritual, but at Books A Million, I bought every single book in the series, but they were sold out of Madness and Chaotic, so he surprised me when we got home and he bought me both of those books. So I am waiting for them to ship in. I am also waiting for Game On, a part of the Lights Out series, and Starside by Alex Astor. They are all coming in at the exact same time, and I am living life. But yeah, that is all I have. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys thought, because if you like this series, let me know what you thought of this one. This book has the highest rating. I think it's like out of 4.8 overall. It has the highest rating out of all. So let me know what you thought. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.